What's going on, guys? This is Carl with the Racerred channel. We are out here riding some of the beautiful Hawaii mountain range. The BLM is trying to shut a lot of this down. Recently, we lost a lot of the Fossil Creek area, which is part of this range. We lost a lot of Silver City area, which is also part of this range. The BLM is aggressively attacking Idaho land right now. They just got done closing a lot of Moab, Utah, and they are coming at Idaho hard. And they say that silence is permission. That is the federal government's stance on closures. So everybody needs to go to either the travel management plan, or you can go to the Blue Ribbon Coalition's website, and they have links to everything that you need. And make sure that you leave your comments with specific trail numbers.
What's going on, guys? So after researching the Grandview, Idaho area, the trails don't have numbers. So a lot of these trails just aren't inventoried yet. And the BLM is wanting to shut down that entire area. And what should be done to that area is just make it an open use or open riding area to where you can do whatever you want out there. The desert is a desolate wasteland, but it is a lot of fun to explore. And that's the way it should be. So when you're going to make your comment, keep that in mind. And there's not going to be any trail numbers that you can actually use in this area for the most part. However, there are designated routes out there still. They just haven't been inventoried by the BLM. I left the links in my description, so you can go down there and make sure you click on those. It'll take you right to where you need to go in order to put your comments in. And you'll want to do both the BLM link, and that'll go directly to the BLM. And then you'll want to do one on the Blue Ribbon Coalition's page as well. You're going to want to do both pages. That way the Blue Ribbon Coalition has all of the information they need in order to bring a lawsuit against the BLM, if that makes sense. Yeah, you're going to want to put all these comments, everything that you want to say, make sure it's a informative piece. They really don't care about the insults or anything like that. They only care about designated routes and why you want to put them out there. For the most part, the BLM's closures are going to make a really dangerous situation for all of us, because none of us are going to just stop riding because they're closing off all of this land. One of my guys on Facebook had mentioned this, and I agree 100%. The more they close, the more we're going to start running into each other out there. And it's going to create a very dangerous riding situation where you can't just go out and explore. They're just going to have designated routes that everybody rides on and crashes into each other on. So the beauty of riding a motorcycle is going out there and being able to explore long distances. You know, there are those situations where you run into another rider and you have those close calls or whatever. Those are going to get more and more frequent as the BLM closes us down into one small area. And so, yeah, keep that in mind. There are not designated routes out there. It's not inventoried, that is. It's still legal riding. It's just not inventoried for the BLM to use. And so you won't be able to use those trail numbers. However, you still need to go and comment as to why all these routes need to stay opened, and make sure the BLM knows that you aren't okay with this. The federal government says that silence is permission, and when it comes to closures, they will absolutely use your silence as permission. I know that I'm tired of seeing all of our land shut down by the BLM, and it's time to fight back. I know that a lot of people are out there that care about this topic. Like I said, there's huge user groups. There's the RV community, the four-wheeling community, the hunters, the boaters. All of you guys need to come together. Everybody needs to come together right now and fight against the federal government. At least if they take off their happy face mask and reveal the demon underneath, then we can start fighting that demon. But up until we get that mask off, we're going to have to fight a fight that's not even, I feel that we don't really have much of a fight at all. The BLM is really not caring what we say. They've already got their plans in order, and they're going to implement those plans. However, I hope that we can make a change and don't lose hope, don't lose the faith. We got to keep on fighting.
That you would like to be open, that helps the guys on our side really point to each trail and say why that should be open, because this stuff is really, really good stuff. I mean, obviously we don't ride this stuff every year. That's the whole point of exploring, is you have trails that are going to be unused for a while, and all of us pretty much enjoy going out and exploring, and a trail doesn't even really need to be there so much as it needs to be legal. We like to go out and explore. We don't like to go out and hit the same stuff over and over and over.
What's going on, guys? I wanted to show you onX Off-Road, which is my navigational app that I use. You can track all of your rides. A bunch of routes are already on this map, so you can just, as you're riding, follow these trails, and this is how I find a lot of my stuff. Anyways, guys, I've teamed up with them, so if you use code Racerred, you'll get 20% off.
We're heading in the direction that California went, where essentially you have a trail that goes in a loop, and everybody rides that trail. They put concrete down to try to keep people from making a gigantic rut, because so many people are hitting that one single trail. So there has been a lot of progress lost because of the current administration. Who you vote for really does matter in terms of freedom. A lot of presidents will be like, oh, we had so much wilderness area signed off. That's not a good thing, guys. That means you can't go into that area. That's a government restricted zone. So the Blue Ribbon Coalition recently said that in one of their meetings that I attended there at Moto 1, they said that they only had one person so far who had commented with the trail number, and so that's what helps them fight for us. Basically get our trails somewhat protected to the point where the federal government will have to take off its smiley mask and reveal the demon underneath eventually, to where they're just going to say, we don't care, we're just going to steal everything anyways. Which we all know that's what's really happening, but we have to at least fight while they're pretending to allow us to have a voice. Right now, the government is basically a dude walking around with a smiley mask on, and underneath there's a gigantic demon. So I've noticed that Colorado is fighting weapons bans. There are a lot of people fighting different bans, and so the motorcycle community is not alone. The problem is RV guys are gonna be facing the same thing, although I don't think they're as active in communities. I don't think they're as aware that a lot of the dispersed camping is going away. So we've got huge user groups, as the guy from Blue Ribbon Coalition was mentioning. We've got huge user groups that are affected by this, including the RVers and boaters. We've got dirt bikers and hunters. Everybody is going to be affected by all these bans, and effectively what they're doing is kicking people out of the outdoors, bringing them into the cities. This land is our land, period. The government should not own more than 10 square miles of land per state. They should not be allowed out here. We have allowed it because they've managed it, I think, but I think it's time to stop allowing it, because they are stealing it, essentially. And they're basically raising their hand and said, oh, this has been ours all along. Too bad. riding some of the beautiful Idaho desert. We like to come out here and explore. This is stuff that I haven't ridden before, and that's the beauty of riding a motorcycle, is to pick an area, go out and ride it, and ride stuff that you've never been on before, because it's all fresh. It's like exploring the map. It's awesome. There are riders out there who have secret areas and don't want anybody to know where they're riding. Heaven forbid anybody knows where you ride. And the problem with that is that the federal government knows, and they'll close it because nobody rides it.